For 2 years, a documentary film crew was given unlimited access to one of the world's most successful bounty hunters, Leonard Padilla, and his apprentice, Rob Dick. For the past 30 years, Leonard has been directly responsible for the capture and arrest of over 4,000 fugitives. They call him the Godfather of Bail.
My name is Leonard Padilla, and without a doubt, I'm the most successful bounty hunter. That includes the other wannabes.
Listen to me, don't do anything wrong.
And it's a lonely place at the top.
Here, oh, she's coming out, we're gonna do it now.
I can be a bad guy on my own. I don't have to be made into a bad guy. Is it an ego situation? Sure it is. Yeah, I had $1 million in the duffel bag at one time.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You have a warrant for your arrest, and you are going to jail.
On the ground, now! On the ground! Don't move!
And I said, you want to die today?
Cancel the chopper. Leonard shot the motorcycle.
You know how hard it is to hit a gas tank from 300 yards with that thing?
If I don't want to hit you, Richie, I'd have got you. You know that, don't you? He gave a hell of a run, I'll tell you. He gave a hell of a run. He's a gamey little guy. He's got a lot of guts, I'll tell you. somebody firing one of these things at him, you know, it's got to be a fool to run.
The 1988 capture of this wanted fugitive, an alleged drug dealer, helped Leonard earn the title of world-famous bounty hunter.
I don't have any illusions about myself or who I am. I just think I'm a damn good bounty hunter. I think I'm a very educated bounty hunter. I think I know the law in the bounty hunting field better than anybody else. And I make no bones about it. Now, some people call it brag. A friend of mine, George Naylor, used to say it ain't bragging if it's fact.
The 1872 Supreme Court decision, Taylor versus Tainter, gave almost unlimited jurisdiction to bounty hunters when it came to catching their man. The historical ruling gave bail bondsmen and their hired agents, bounty hunters, the right to follow fugitives across state lines, break and enter their homes without a warrant, and arrest them at any time. 16 years after the exciting capture, and over 30 years since his career began, we find Leonard still at the top of his game, and he knows it.
Would a fugitive be afraid if he heard that Leonard was coming after him? Yeah, my reputation precedes me.
But now, Leonard faces 4 major problems: Jackie Saffo, Joseph Shopes, Richard Lozano, and Roger Ramirez. These 4 fugitives are on the run from law enforcement and represent a total of $203,000 in liability to Leonard's bail organization. If any one of these 4 high-priced fugitives is not captured, it could cripple Alex Padilla bail bonds, operated by Leonard's son, Alex. Rob Dick, an ex-Sacramento County Sheriff's deputy, who has been working as a bounty hunter under Leonard's wing for 5 years, is now poised to team up with his mentor for their biggest challenge: bringing these 4 fugitives back to justice. But first things first, they clean up some outstanding liability in the form of a woman charged with grand theft. With only 1 week left before Rob must find the woman in question, he finally tracks her down at her residence 45 miles north of Sacramento.
If you want to screw with me, I'll call up CPS. We'll put all the kids in CPS. You can go to jail for your felony no bail, and then you can explain to the parents why they went to CPS. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Who are you?
I work for the bail bond company. Sheriff's Department's on their way. Once they get here, you go to jail for the felony, the kids go to CPS. I don't care who the parents are.
Okay, because I called Melissa.
Okay, that's fine.
You can go outside.
Okay.
I don't have any clothes on. I was getting in the shower.
Okay, well, let's go get you some clothes because we're going to jail.
Why are we going to jail?
Because that's the games that we're playing, okay? You're Melissa, you're Monica, whoever you are, right?
Okay. Why
No,
are we
you're...
here?
And you have a warrant for your arrest, and you are going to jail.
This woman represents just one of the thousands of people each year in Sacramento and throughout the United States who miss court on criminal cases after bailing out of jail.
Okay, here's what happens. An individual, let's just take California, which most of the states are the same, gets in trouble, goes to jail because he has an auto theft. The cops picked him up. They say you stole his car. The bail schedule here in Sacramento says it's a $10,000 bond.
Option 1. The defendant can pay the court $10,000 directly to get out of jail while he or she awaits trial. Option 2, the more popular and realistic option, is to pay a bail agent 10% of the bail amount in return for freedom until the trial. If the defendant misses any court date, the judge issues a warrant for their arrest and sends the bondsman a notice of forfeiture. The bondsman then has 180 days to return the defendant to the system before becoming responsible for the total bail amount. Enter Leonard and Rob.
By the time that a file gets to me, everybody's chewed on it for a while. Local law enforcement has probably already been out knocking on his door and everything because they got a warrant issued when he failed to go to court. The local bail agent that bailed him out has also had his skip tracer out knocking on doors and doing whatever. When the 4 or 5 months have passed and he's almost out of time, that's when he gets the file to me and says, Leonard, you know, I need some help on this.
When it comes to locating and arresting fugitives, Leonard and Rob often find themselves working with law enforcement. Under the legal precedent of Taylor versus Tainter, bounty hunters are not required to adhere to the same laws as police when making arrests. When an individual signs a bail agreement to get out of jail, they are giving the bail bond company the right to come find them and arrest them if they miss court.
In the backyard with those other people.
When you're looking for an individual, never do anything that's going to get you sued, or get you put in jail because it's a criminal act. Never do either one of those things. Do people push and get close to that line? Constantly. Know how narrow, how quick that line can move, and don't go over it, because then you're going to end up in the back seat of a cop car, right alongside of your guy. As far as looking for a fugitive, you can lie to the relatives, you can lie to the people that are lying to you. Once they lie to you initially, and you know it's a lie, you can go right ahead and lie on them. What are they going to do? They're not going to. It's not a crime to lie. It's freedom of speech, freedom of association. It's not going to get you anywhere. Never identify yourself as law enforcement. However, there are many times when people think that bail bond companies are law enforcement. Oh, you're an officer with the bail bond company. There's nothing wrong in saying yes. It's a stretch, but there's nothing wrong in saying yes. Don't break into anybody's car. If he's not in the car, you can tell he's not in the car. Don't break in there just to get stuff out of the glove compartment to find out where he's at. Now, if the door to the car is open because the guy fled on foot and it's parked off to the side of the road, well, you know, if the keys are in it, move it off the side of the road, park it somewhere for safety purposes, and while you're in there, if there's mail in the front seat, well, go ahead and read it.
John Morgan is the co-owner of Alex Padilla Bail Bonds. When a defendant that he bailed misses a court date, he hires Leonard and Rob to return them to the system and protect his liability.
When Rob gets involved in chasing people, a lot of it comes down to we're human beings are creatures of habit, you know, so follow mom, follow the girlfriend, follow the money, follow the job. Typically, most people have people that don't like them or they've rubbed them wrong, and so they'll help you out. Or Rob might have to offer, hey, here's a couple $100 if you can locate this person.
This is the board that we use to keep track of all the people that are on the run from us. What it represents is it represents the defendant's name, the bond amount, the date, which is our 6-month cutoff date. So these dates here are 6 months from the time the person missed court. Anything that's in red is a liability still.
Case in point, Roger Ramirez. As of today, this fugitive is red hot and running, and currently represents the largest amount of liability for Alex Padilla bail bonds, $150,000 in bail. Ramirez is running from 5 combined charges, including possession of an unlawful weapon and assault with great bodily injury. The team has just 3 weeks to locate the potentially armed and dangerous fugitive before Alex Padilla bail bonds must pay the court $150,000.
Alex Padilla.
We've actually ended up bailing him 3 times, and now he's on the run. He was given a court date of May 8th, and he never went.
Rob and his right-hand man, James Ziggy Moore, follow a lead to Rio Linda, a rural community north of Sacramento.
He's staying somewhere in the area of 24th and U, but we don't know where.
Okay.
Leonard was in the office when the call came in.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Our guy is supposed to be staying with a guy that goes by the nickname of Lefty. Leonard thinks he might know this Lefty, so he headed out to the area. So he's driving around his vehicle, and then Jeff, another partner of ours, is in his car. The main thing right now is just to kind of saturate the area with a few vehicles so we can see if we can locate him.
He's supposed to be on the street, or is he in a house?
We actually have no idea. All we know is that he lives somewhere in the area of 24th and U, and he's driving a white Chevy. Usually when a guy specifically is on the run, he tends to burn people along the way, and that kind of works in our favor if we can get a hold of those people. Bella.
Radio check.
Roger Ramirez's ex-girlfriend is willing to give both Leonard and Rob information on the location of Lefty's house.
These are 26, those are 24.
She also informs the team that she believes Ramirez is packing up his belongings in order to leave for Texas.
She doesn't know anything about Lefty other than the fact that she went to his house one time at 1:30 in the morning. She describes it as a long driveway back to the residence. She says he's so paranoid, he's carrying a gun. She's afraid that whenever somebody comes across him, it's just going to be ugly and he's going to end up dead. Says he's just getting more and more paranoid as the days go on.
They tell me he's all screwed up, that he's packing a gun, he's very dangerous right now. That's what the in-laws just told me, that he's just all messed up in the head with drugs, and that he is carrying a gun.
So you think it's going to get pretty ugly? Or?
Yeah.
555 in Eagle View in Sac or North Island.
After searching all morning for the house, the crew breaks for lunch.
I gotta believe that if he's driving a 52 Chevy pickup in this area, and he's always been stopped in this area, it won't be hard to have him. Also, Rob says that he's supposed to take her to play bingo tonight. So, between the 2 addresses and the bingo parlor, we might be able to catch him before he goes to Texas. Except that we have to sit here and wait for Ziggy to finish his run.
He's eating too.
Yeah, but he'd jump up. If I jump up, he's out of here.
I don't think he's got enough money to make a journey. Besides that, I don't think he has any idea we're on him or what lengths we'll go to find him.
Rob heads to a storage facility where Roger's ex-girlfriend says she recently saw him gathering his belongings.
Well, we're looking for a guy that's got a $250,000 felony warrant. And I guess he comes here all the time.
Oh, really?
I'd like to show you his picture.
All right, come on in. Yeah, I remember him. The last time I saw him, he came with a friend, an armless friend.
Q Street, the storage. Says, yeah, been in here, it's been about a month, he owes us some money, it's in pre-lien. They're supposed to be coming in this week to pay, don't want to lose their storage. Last time he was in here, came in with a real ornery guy that chain smoked, had one arm.
Yep, that's Lefty.
Yeah.
What the was Lefty's last name?
The team is unable to locate Lefty's house, but they do get new information that Ramirez plays bingo every Tuesday night. They decide to set up for a stakeout at a local bingo parlor.
Well, Rob says he's got some information from 3 different sources that him and that new girlfriend of his come over here and play bingo every Tuesday night.
At 8:15, there's a break, and then I guess the second half, the second session for this bingo place is going to continue. So since we've been here since the first session, we're going to go ahead and wait it out. Since it's late at night, and the bingo thing's pretty well over now, we're gonna just go ahead and call it for tonight. I think we're still early enough in the game that he's still around. I don't think he's gone anywhere. Too many people have seen him in too many places over the last couple of days that I don't think he's gone yet.
Like many Mexican-American families in 1940s California, the Padillas worked as field laborers up and down the fertile Central Valley.
Yeah, my love for hunting when I was a youngster probably has a lot to do with the bounty hunting that I do. When I was a youngster, there was nothing we loved to do more, me and my younger brothers, than to grab a rifle and hunt, whether it was rabbits, a deer every now and then. I grew up working in the fields. I've picked cotton in Huron, I've picked tomatoes in Woodland, I've picked potatoes, packed potatoes.
I know his dad is Grandpa Chicky, who was involved in, he was a drinker, a womanizer, gambler, ran cockfights. And so I don't think he was around much. And so I think my father ended up being the father pretty much of his brothers and sisters and helping raise everybody.
My dad, he just kind of said, hey, forget this, and kind of took off. Oh, at the time it was good because my dad was kind of a different guy. And without him around the house, it was kind of quiet. And it was, I hate to say it, but it was more enjoyable than having him around just raising hell all the time.
You know, he had a rough childhood, and probably didn't have, you know, some of the luxuries. I know he didn't have some of the luxuries or the experiences that, you know, every boy would like to have. And so I still think that, you know, he's probably carrying that around with him a bit.
Yeah, I would have liked to have played baseball and basketball, but I couldn't. I had to go work. There's a lot of things I wanted to do when I was younger. I couldn't do it. I had to go to work. I don't know how to play tennis. I don't ski. I don't know how to swim. I've never gone to a professional football game. I've never gone to a baseball game, professional type. So I guess I don't have anything to do except what I learned when I was little, and that was just to work.
Today, Leonard Padilla is one of the most successful bounty hunters to date. During the height of his career, he made over $700,000 a year for a 3-year period.
In 30 years I've been doing this, I have probably missed less than 6 people and arrested probably, or caused the arrest of over 4,000 legitimate skips that I've caught. Not make-believe like some of these guys, oh, I caught 5,000, I caught 6,000. No, it's legitimate. I've got the files on every one of them, you know.
Few can rival his numbers or his reputation.
Everybody knows who I am by just looking. That's Padilla.
The reason Leonard is so good is because Leonard doesn't understand the word try or no. I mean, if he puts his mind to it, he's gonna do it. And that's really what it takes.
Throughout the streets of Sacramento, the neon glow of the Padilla Empire assaults passers-by from all sides.
In Sacramento, I see the bail industry being a pyramid. You're gonna have someone on the top who's kind of the godfather of everything, who's going to allow everybody to do what they can do. If you're going to be successful, Leonard gives you his blessing. And if Leonard doesn't give you your blessing, you're not going to be successful.
You'll get youngsters that are 24, 25 years of age and, hey, I want to start my own agency. Will you give me a hand? I'm probably the only guy in the industry that doesn't say, yeah, but here's what it's going to cost you. I've never said that to anybody. I've always said, yeah, I'll give you a hand, and here's what you should do, and here's the rules, and here's the regs. Subsequently, you become some kind of a godfather figure to them because they feel, hey, this guy, you know, God, I can't believe it. He gave me a hand, I'm started, I'm making big bucks, I got my boat, I got my car, and he ain't charged me no money. So, you become the godfather.
Problem in Sacramento County.
Middle of last year, the sheriff of Sacramento County came out and said that there's over 100,000 unserved warrants in Sacramento County.
And with millions of dollars in warrants, it seems the local government stands to lose a lot of money. But in fact, the opposite is true.
We're in a sector of America that makes money because somebody has a problem, either financially or criminally.
I make money off of people's mistakes, just like insurance companies do, just like the criminal justice system does.
Now, as far as the bail bond system, it is the only part of the justice system that supports itself.
If the criminal justice system had the type of accountability that my industry does, then I think there would be a lot less crime, because that's all it comes down to, is if you're going to charge somebody with a crime, make sure they make it to court, make sure justice is served, whether the case is adjudicated or the case is dismissed.
We're all on a giant roller coaster ride, and the only person on the treadmill is, like I said, that little criminal. And he's keeping everything going because society is paying the taxes to get it all done.
Take, for example, the next big liability on Leonard's list, Jacqueline Sappho. Charged with under the influence of a controlled substance and failure to appear, Sappho's bail amount is $10,000. Rob and Leonard have only 5 days to find her before Alex Padilla bail bonds must pay the courts. Because she is homeless, Rob is concerned with locating the car she is supposedly living out.
This person that we have here is a $10,000 warrant out of Santa Barbara. She's supposed to be living in a 82 blue Toyota. Back window's been broken out, so it's supposed to have a blue tarp on it.
While Rob searches for Jackie's car on the other side of town, Leonard finds a phone number on her bail application and uses his scamming techniques to lure Jackie in.
I definitely have to lie on this job. We do it constantly because otherwise you're not going to get information that people will hold back from you.
There's several things that people fall for relatively easy as far as, you know, money available, prizes, winning things. There's lots of things, lots of different ways you can scam a person.
Scamming is basically when you're lying to the mother, as you know, you set up a job story and you say, you know, I understand he was looking for a job in the construction trades. My name is Sam Brown and I work for Brownell Construction. And at one time or another, he worked for a company that we were involved with, because you get this information from the bail agent who has taken an application on him. It's as important a part of the bounty hunting as staking out a house or being able to pull a gun on an individual. I mean, these are things that are very important to do.
Okay, here's what I have is a check that was put on my desk 2 weeks ago for $387 for general assistance. Now, let me verify your social security number, make sure I'm talking to the right person here. I've got 551.
I know.
You got it?
That's right.
Well, I don't know what to do.
What you mean, what to do? I need it. Can I come get it?
Yeah. I've got to get over to the post office.
What post office you gonna be at? I'll meet you there.
At the one on I Street.
I Street
Yeah.
post office?
Yeah, because what I got to do then is pull this out of the batch that's going back to the state.
Okay, I see post office. What do you got on? So I know what you look like.
I'm wearing a suit and blue tie. Yeah, blue suit, white shirt, and a blue tie. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing beige pants, beige shirt.
Have you got ID with you now?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay, Terry.
You bet.
I'll be there.
Make sure you have ID with you.
Okay, I will.
You bet.
Bye. Thank you.
By getting Jackie to believe he is from the welfare office with a check in hand for her, she agrees to meet Leonard at a strategic location.
Come on, people. Wow, I'm in a traffic jam. Got these idiots going on.
I can't hear you.
All right, just a minute. We're not there yet.
How far are you?
Probably 10 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. I'll hurry. Freeway's got...
What?
All right, I'll call you when I get there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, this is a good deal, picking her up here less than a block away from the office. I don't think she'll create a problem for us because it is a public place. And she's not going to be knowing what's going on anyhow. If she's gotten to the point where she's come down here, she believes what the story is.
I think she's down here just crossing in front of Eddie's. She drove up in the car. Was the passenger in the car. Wearing a beige top and white shorts. Ziggy's gonna walk by her. This is gonna be her. It just is. She's looking at the post office. She's going straight into the post office. She's wearing a beige top.
Nope, she's coming out. We're gonna do it now. Hey, Jacqueline? Jacqueline? No. Oh! Come on, don't lie to me. Listen. Not that big of a deal. Listen to me. Don't do anything wrong. Let me talk to you for a second. Let me talk to you for a second. Don't do anything wrong. I'm your friend.
I knew it.
I am your friend.
Won't y'all just give me a little more time?
I am your friend. I have
you're
given
not.
you time. Listen to me.
I can't do this. Listen, let me
Okay,
explain
listen.
something. Let me explain something. My daughter, I have to go get her.
Okay, well then you're gonna like what I have to say to you.
Let me hear it.
Okay? We're gonna walk over to SAC PD. We're gonna get you cited on your misdemeanor SAC warrant.
They ain't misdemeanors, they felonies.
You have a misdemeanor.
Man, give me a break. Y'all don't
I have
know
no
how
reason to lie
bad
to you. If you had a felony, it'd be much
this-
easier.
Why did y'all lie to me? I needed this money. Why did you
What
lie
I am
to
explaining
me?
to you is you missed court. You realize that, right?
I know this.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, well you got, okay,
Listen,
look. You're on
okay.
10 grand, right?
Yeah, I'm
You
paying my bill.
don't got 10 grand in your pocket, do you?
Oh, that's why I
Okay,
needed
so we
the
don't need to do that, do we?
Oh, I needed the money.
Okay, so let's just go get this taken care of.
Sometimes
You got any
people, when
idea?
they're in trouble and they've got desperate situations, they're willing to pretty well go along with anything. So she just figured somebody made a mistake and there might be a check, you know, hope against hope. She's broke.
When he called and said $386, I said, oh, yes. You know, I was thinking it was a godsend. But kind of in the back of my mind, I knew it wasn't. But I just had to take that chance because I needed the money.
It's a situation where America should feel sorry for a lady like her, you know. There's no reason for her to be in the predicament that she's in. There's just absolutely no reason. She wasn't born that way. She's got a problem. It's a problem that America has. Like I said, you know, we send hundreds of millions of dollars to foreign countries, but for whatever reason it is, we cannot create a job or a situation for this woman to stay away from a life of crime.
Hi, my name's Jackie. I was a bad girl about a year and a half ago. Okay, I straightened my life out, and in the process, I lost my children. I didn't lose them. I just gave them to my family. God, now my mother's trying to take custody of my 12-year-old.
You got any ID on you at all?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay, you don't got any weapons or anything? You gonna be nice and walk with me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go.
I needed the money. Y'all know.
Rob walks Jackie to the police station, where they will decide whether to make another court date for her or incarcerate her for missing her previous court date. The bail bond is now cleared, and Rob and Leonard each make $2,000 for turning Jackie in.
With me, it's a job, and that's all I can do about it. I'll just get her in and get that part of it straightened out, go on to the next one. Yellow.
Leonard is constantly bombarded with offers from eager up-and-comers and wannabe bounty hunters. Selectivity must be his first priority when it comes to choosing a partner.
There's nobody that's got anywhere near the experience or the abilities that Rob has out there right now.
Rob's no cowboy outlaw, but rather an ex-cop. His father, a sheriff's deputy of over 20 years.
Mom remarried, and my dad adopted me when I was about 7. And he was a deputy with Sac County here. And so, you know, being around him and getting to know, you know, just law enforcement in general on that end, I actually got into it about 14. I went into the Sheriff's Explorers, and I went into the academy straight out of high school at 18. And so basically, I just kind of been in law enforcement side of it ever since I can remember.
I think he looked up to me. I hope he did. He's never done anything that I can even remotely think of that I would be ashamed of.
Following his father's footsteps, Rob serves as a deputy for 7 years. But he becomes increasingly annoyed by the system and takes a job as a security guard.
One of the reasons I wanted to do this was early on, I saw successes and results, and I felt like I was making a difference. And that's something I didn't feel like I was doing when I was a cop.
The once clean-cut cop grows out his hair and grows into the role of the bounty hunter, under the watchful eye of the infamous Godfather.
When I originally met him, I had my doubts that he would work out. It just didn't seem like I said, somebody coming out of law enforcement could work out. And these guys, they got these civil servant jobs, and they think that next to God, they're the only right ones in the world. And most of them are a bunch of idiots. But I also noticed immediately that he took to it real good. He's got a real good mind as far as doing what has to be done in the bounty hunting game.
Every good bounty hunter has a signature trademark, and Rob is no exception.
Everybody's always bugging me about my hair. One of the things is that I had short hair for so many years that I just wanted to have long hair. And so I started growing it out. And my hair is so wavy that it goes crazy on top. So I had to go back to the shorts, and now I've got this short on top and long on the back. And it's kind of become my look, I guess, and people recognize me for that.
Personally, what I think is Rob doesn't like change. He wears Levi's, he wears a denim blue shirt or flannel. He's got his mullet, and he's got his mustache, goatee. It depends on what time of the year it is. Is that a flannel denim shirt? What the f*** are you putting them both together?
It's cold this morning.
Usually it's a flannel or a Levi's shirt.
Kidding aside, having good relations with law enforcement is crucial when trying to locate a fugitive. The next fugitive on the list is Joseph Shopes. He has numerous charges against him, including forgery and battery. His bail is $20,000. The crew has been warned that he may be armed. They have 5 days to find him. The hunt begins at the fugitive's last known address.
I don't think anybody's there. There's a note on the door. Looking in the front window, it looks like the house is vacant. I'm just kind of concerned if someone were to come home any minute. Because the bad part is, I mean, it's right on sunrise. I mean, if someone starts to come home and sees us in there, then they can just keep driving real easy. I don't know. I guess I'll just drive in the driveway and take a look. Yeah. Did you read that note on the door?
Farm, it says, house is already rented, 6601.
That's not good. Hey, go peek over the fence real quick, though. Got a guy and a girl over there. Peek right over the fence. I'm trying to let him see it. I think they're the neighbors. got a yearbook back here with some clothes that belong to the girlfriend, so it may still be around here. Pages are stuck together. Man.
Rob places a call to Leonard to report the bad news.
Yeah, they're gone. House is empty, there's garbage all over the place. I mean, nothing that they're coming back for.
Not all is lost. Rob finds a letter addressed to the Shopes family from an apartment complex in Petaluma, California.
Lakeview Resort Apartments, One Lake Circle, Petaluma, California, to the Shopes family. It's like the apartments that they moved to. We'll leave from here and go to Petaluma because our time is pretty much up on Monday, which means we have until Monday to get him. Today's Wednesday.
With less than a week to find him, Rob makes the decision to race to Petaluma immediately to follow the lead.
Gonna run over here and wash the mouse piss off my hands, and then we'll jam to Petaluma. Oh, any more bright ideas? There's about 10,000 apartments here.
10,000 apartments.
That's a fair guess. This place is so big, I'm lost.
What do you mean lost? You're being trained by the world-famous bounty hunter.
I'm up to apartment 1,145.
Rob decides to walk around the massive apartment complex, hoping to spot Joseph Shopes. Leonard gets a lead on an ex-girlfriend's cell phone number and is surprised at who answers the phone. He pretends to be part of a cleanup crew from Shopes' last address.
Hello? Who am I speaking to? Joseph, or? Well, I'm part of a cleanup crew. We're cleaning up a house up here in Citrus Heights. Well, there's a yearbook and some other paperwork and stuff. I thought it might be important enough we should box it and mail it. Okay, well, give me an address and I'll get it off in the mail tomorrow. I mean, as long as we get it to somebody, otherwise in the morning, I'm telling you, what they do is they incinerate all this stuff or send it out to... If it was there, they probably don't want it. Like I said, there's a money order for $72. There's another one for $18. I don't want to mail to me, man. Okay, where am I calling right now? Well, that's no concern to you. Oh, no, I'm just... I don't know who you are. I don't know nothing. Okay, thank you much. You bet.
Yeah, that was good. Where in California is he talking on that phone?
He's not in San Jose.
I don't think he's out here either. I think he's in Sacramento.
If you just want to head back to Sacramento, we'll give it a whirl tomorrow. We know more now than we did yesterday.
With Joseph Shopes' whereabouts still unknown, things couldn't be going worse for Leonard and Rob. They now must enter a race against time as they attempt to save Alex Padilla bail bonds from failing to return Joseph Shopes to court. They could lose $20,000. Day after dangerous day, skip after unpredictable skip, the hunt goes on, and it's never easy. About the only thing Rob and his crew can count on is each other.
It's a situation where you just really, really have to love your brother that you're working with. You have to just cherish his ability and be just part of his life and know that, hey, if something comes down, I'll lay it down for him, because a guy like Rob will jump down in front of you. He'll take a bullet for you. He's got what it takes to do that.
I mean, there's situations where we are actually taking our lives in our hands, and so we have to, I mean, we're all aware of what the end result could be, and we all take care of each other to prevent that.
If anything ever went wrong, Ziggy would have Rob's back.
Zig will cover anything, you know, that he'll take any door and make sure you don't get through.
You see Rob, you see Ziggy. I mean, he's there, and that's what his job is, to back Rob up.
I mean, I'm practically married to him, it seems like, because, I mean, we're around each other all the time.
Ziggy is not Rob's only backup. Another member of the team is Jeff Sturgis. His unique asset is his appearance. He fits in with the very criminals they are chasing.
Jeff, he's a guy that really looks like kind of an old biker style look to him and really fits in some of the areas that we go to and just not at all looks like law enforcement.
Even though each member of the team brings something different to the table, the thread that draws them together is the same.
Can't shoot the cops, only the bad guys.
Well, I thought you were there, man. The years I've known these guys, I've noticed that they have their own language that they speak and their own sort of circumstances, what they're doing, and I don't think there's any of these guys they wouldn't do something to help the other one in any way possible they could.
Leonard and Rob are the targets of constant harassment from criminals. Since they have apprehended a large portion of the criminals in Sacramento, they have to think twice about where they spend time when they go out.
I typically actually don't go out to a lot of places because of the fact that I really do know a lot of people made a lot of arrests in this town. And, you know, I mean, I like to be able to come to a place and not have to watch my back.
My Blazer, I've had this thing since 1988. And it's been stolen 5 times. And I've gotten it back every time. I've always thought I could, jump sideways and bullets would whistle by me, or I got a sign on my disc that says I'm the disc of God's favorite person. I mean, I have had so many situations develop that I've walked right on by. So I worry about people around me constantly. I don't want them to get hurt because of me. I don't want harm to come to them.
After the unsuccessful trip to Petaluma, and with only 3 days left, the crew must resort to last-ditch efforts at locating Joseph Shopes by putting heavy pressure on his girlfriend.
Yeah, Leonard was talking to her about her being the co-signer, her being basically responsible for the 20 grand that he's out on, roughly. Moments later, after they hung up, she called back crying, okay, here's the deal. He's got my car. This is the car. It is in that same area. He's staying at Jason's. He's probably still sleeping. So now we have an area and a car now, which is what we needed. We need something to look for. So we're going to race out here and find the car and find out where he's at. Boy, that was a heavy set female going into that house where he hangs out. We already know he likes some heavy. Over here at these 2 houses, there's an older lady leaving the second house in, not the corner one. Yeah. And a real heavy white woman just came over to this second house too. Doesn't look like he's there because the car's not there. Now it's just kind of a case of seeing where he pops up next. He's supposed to be bringing her car back in San Jose. If that happens, then at least we'll know where he's at that moment. We can head that way and she can keep him busy.
Leonard has scared Joseph's co-signer, his girlfriend, so much that she has asked Joseph to return her car back to her in San Jose. Rob hopes to catch Joseph before he makes the trip. When frustration sets in, the urge builds for Rob and Leonard to get physical with a particularly elusive fugitive. However, they must remember that the fugitives they chase are actually the clients of the bondsmen who employ Leonard and Rob.
Those people are inventory to that bail agent or that agency. That's their inventory. You can't just go out there and harass them and make them hate you and make them hate the bondsman that you're working for, because then they're not going to call that bondsman again. You can't break the inventory. It has to be kept intact. It's part of a deal that they didn't go to court, and they knew if they didn't go to court, they were going to go back to jail. Therefore, they understand.
Another call comes into Rob and Leonard from Shope's girlfriend. This time she tells them that he is now heading to Oak Park to visit a friend. They now believe he is carrying a gun.
He's on the way from Fair Oaks to Oak Park right now. driving. So we gotta go back out there and drive around. Supposedly he's on the way to this house right now. The house is packed. They're probably selling out of it.
53 copy.
Finally, they spot him.
Coming out.
Hang on, I think we might have to take him right now.
He's right behind the tree, look like.
Even though Rob has alerted law enforcement that they have located Joseph Shopes, a wanted fugitive who is armed and dangerous, they fail to send any police to help him. Rob, Ziggy, and Jeff are on their own.
You make it behind the house? When we pull up and lock that car, can you run and get behind the house before he can go through the house and over the fence?
So you want me to get over the fence in the backyard?
No, I want you to go right on the street. Run down to the corner and run around.
Oh, this way?
Yeah. But I'm not gonna stop and let you out. You're gonna have to run from that car. Back. Well, what do you want me to do?
I know, okay.
I think we should go. I think you don't move until I do.
Start walking.
Yeah, walk and hit that right. Hit that right turn. Okay, 13's gonna go out on foot and he's gonna walk to the road and turn right to try to be closer behind. If he starts to go, I guess we're gonna have to go. When we pull up, I'm gonna pull right behind his car. You gotta pull in to block the front so that car doesn't leave at all. You ready?
Ready.
Let me get almost to the car. I'm gonna drive like I'm normal, then I'll pull over at the last second. Then you block the front end, 'cause it ain't gonna go nowhere.